Appears that all members are present, so we do have a quorum. And minutes were sent to you by email for review. I would entertain a motion that they be approved.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Payment of claims. The claims were sent to you by email for your review. I entertain a motion that we approve the claims.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion regarding any of the claims? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It is approved. Report of the utility superintendent.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So tonight, I just want to talk a little bit about DRF 52. So we have that coming in. That's our first pay application. I'm sorry, that's a Wessler pay application for the engineering work on the well field improvement projects and the Richard project. And then moving right along, we are, I've reached out to Shrewsbury Engineers. Yep.
I had a question on that. I noticed that most of that pay estimate is a subcontract pass-through.
Yes, that is for the SCADA portion of the project.
Okay, I was just kind of wondering what that
Yeah,
is.
Maxim Automation. Yeah, they're designing and programming our new SCADA, which is part of the overall project.
Okay.
Getting back to Shrewsbury, so we've met with them, and we should be hopefully at the first meeting in October bringing a professional services agreement to you for engineering on 2 water main projects, roughly 5400 Carroll Road, and then on 62nd Street from Veterans Park to the east down to Carroll Crossing. The purpose of those projects, number one, is to provide service to unserved customers. We have that. It also will eliminate 4 dead ends that we have to flush monthly. And not only that, but it also improve fire service in those areas. So those are 2 of the projects that are on our master water improvements projects list anyway.
Water line doesn't go all the way down 62nd Street now?
No.
Oh, didn't know that.
No, and we have those dead ends there at one at Veterans Park there by Chief Jones's house. And then on 5400 Carroll Road, there's one that comes out of Winding Ridge. It's kind of stops. It's a lone hydrant there in that long stretch of existing homes, but it actually, there is no main along Carroll Road right there. And we've got, I don't know, I think about 7 or 8 homes down through there that have no water service availability. So we're going to be rolling on getting those projects designed, and we're also going to be looking at easement acquisition for those projects too, because the existing right-of-ways on those county roads is not, we don't want to put our main in the right-of-way. So when they expand the road, as they will, if our main is in there in the right-of-way, then we have to incur the cost to move it. So if we have it in an easement, then it's on the road widening project. Then we are also getting quotes to fix a couple of projects over here in the state park where we've got, through continued erosion, we've got some exposed water main in 2 places in Lawrence Creek. And so we're going to get those re-drilled, horizontal directional drilling, and push back farther away so they stay out of the banks of the creek.
Scott, I just want to make a comment on the Shrewsbury Engineers contract. 2 things. One, I'm glad that you're kind of spreading work around to a handful of different firms, that maybe keeping with firms that have been familiar with our organization, that they're efficient and getting going and so forth, but not kind of giving everything to all one or two firms. I think appreciate that. And secondly, Shrewsbury, and if the other people don't know, this is a minority-owned firm also, and it's good to try to use some of our local minority-owned firms wherever we can, where they have the skill sets.
Right, but I like them because they're good.
Good, yeah. They also have the skill set to meet our needs, but it's also nice to.
Yeah, they've done a really great job for us on our Franklin Road project. So we were really happy with that.
Nice when we can to hit
Yeah.
that qualifier also.
And then the last thing is, one of the guys came to me the other day. We have a water main, actually over on the Rich Art Water Treatment Plant site that it runs immediately adjacent to well house 3 and 4, but it goes across the property and then through a couple of properties to the west and over into the Edlu subdivision. And we noticed that in the plans, we did not have a provision to replace that pipe, which probably dates back to the mid-50s, early 60s. And before we put new pavement down there, we're going to replace that pipe too, because I don't want that old pipe under new pavement. So we're going to get quotes to get that work done too.
Scott, I had one question. You mentioned a master improvement schedule, meaning...
Yeah, our 20-year
things
master
that we
plan.
needed- Yeah, okay. So we have a list of things that need to be done, and we're just going down the list.
Right,
How
right.
important they are, okay.
And then well, part of our overall design with water system improvements is anytime we have opportunity to get rid of dead ends in the system, we like to do that because that improves water quality and hydraulic performance. And other than that, just business as usual.
So, quick question. The pipe that you just mentioned that you're going to take care of because of the age of it, how do you, in terms of the master improvement list, was that on that list? Or how are
No,
you-
the Edlu main was not.
Okay.
So, but we don't want that old main under new pavement, so.
So as you discover, I guess, things that are in need of repair, do you just add them, or is it, how's that?
Well, these projects here are going to come out of the capital, water improvement capital, that is not necessarily the SRF money.
Okay.
And that's our internal capital funds that have been generated through our May 2017 rate increase.
Anything further? Okay. Scott,
All right, thank you.
Unfinished business, I don't believe we have any unfinished business. Under new business, Jason Fenwick.
I'll try to be brief. Maybe to good segue from what Scott was just talking about, I do want to touch base. I sent out the August utility financials today. You may or may not have had time to go through those. It was simply this morning, but I did want to point out where we are with the water utility. So I think the last time I was up here, we had fully repaid the sewer loan in March of this year, and that was ahead of schedule. We were hoping that we would have it repaid by the end of the year, and thankfully we were able to get that done in March. And because of that, we've now been able to begin more aggressive transfers to the Water Capital Improvement Fund, which will then fund the projects that Scott was just talking about. So as of the end of August, we had just under $2.5 million in the Water Capital Improvement Fund, which was certainly also ahead of where we thought we would be at this point in the year. Certainly, overall, I think things are in line with the expectation of where we were wanting the water utility to be at this point. And so certainly wanting to get more aggressive on the in-house capital projects. The water operating fund itself has a $1 million balance, and that's kind of the target balance that we need to maintain in that fund. So we're right at all the target levels in the water utility where we need to be. And probably more importantly, last week, actually, let me back up. The mayor, Scott, and Jimmy and I went to Chicago in July to have another update with Standard & Poor's. The meeting went probably as well as the one did last year. So we were pretty optimistic when we left their offices. And we did find out on Thursday of last week that we received another 2-notch upgrade. And to back up, so the water utility in May of last year was BB+, which is junk status. After the meeting last summer, we received a 2-notch upgrade back to investment grade to BBB with a positive outlook. So we, on Thursday of last week, received another 2-notch upgrade to A-, and most importantly, we still have positive outlook, which means there's more upside. So that was great news to receive. What that ultimately means for the water utility, the upgrade last summer saved us about $2.5 million when we refunded water bonds late in the year. With this additional upgrade, we will probably save at a minimum at least another $1 million on projects that we plan for next year. So collectively, these 4 upgrades have saved the water utility at least $3.5 million.
Great.
So that was great news, and obviously more upside, but more upside probably not until next year. One other thing I would like to mention, and I know I've mentioned it up here before, and we had some additional curveballs thrown to us in trying to launch our online bill pay. They were manageable curveballs, but nonetheless, they were actually probably create a better experience for the customer anyway, because it increased the security in terms of when you create your account and log in, you actually now use a username and password. And so we've been firming up the website for that, and we will officially be launching this week. It may be tomorrow or Thursday, but it will be live this week for customers to begin accessing their accounts online. They can set up recurring credit card payments. They can sign up for e-bill and eliminate the paper statement that they get in the mail each month and just get it via email. So it's a pretty robust site that will be up in the next day or two. We plan to market that pretty heavily, both on the website, on our Lawrence Lift email, and also probably via a billboard or two just to say bill pay is here, come check it out. So stay tuned on that, but you'll all receive an email on that.
If we get a majority of our customers on an e-bill status, that would save us a bunch of mailing costs also and staff time doing that.
We probably collectively at the utility spend between $10,000 and $12,000 a month on getting statements out. So any dent we could make in that by simply having e-bills, we'll definitely notice it.
Yeah.
Is there any vision to utilize social media in any way to get the message out?
Yes. So Jimmy, accesses Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We basically try to hit every avenue we can. I know on the just as an example, he put the S&P upgrade on Facebook, and I think we had within 5 hours about 1,000 views of it. So obviously a lot of people may not care as much about an upgrade as they may about a new robust online portal. So hopefully we can get even more views than that. But yeah, we're gonna hit every avenue we can. Any questions?
I'd like to make a comment. I think that starting with the mayor making the commitment to increase the revenue, you handling the numbers to show the rating services and manage it better for us, and then Scotty following through with the capital programs, I think 3 of you have been a great team to bring us up to where we need to be to provide the much-needed quality service to our customers for the long term in the future. Steve, I think maybe we should make a more formal reaffirmation of that. Maybe we can't, as a group, as a board, if the board backs us, the board we can't meet as a board to formulate something, but I was thinking maybe you as the president and I as vice president could meet with Dave, and maybe we could put together a resolution that we pass commending the staff that have been working on this, the mayor and the staff, to bringing us from where we were a couple years ago to where we are now is a tremendous accomplishment.
Yes.
What do you think, board?
I support it.
If that's okay with you, maybe Steve and I could put some verbiage together with Dave and bring it back to
That's a
you.
very good idea.
That we formally recognize what you guys have been doing. I think it's been very positive for the city.
Well, thank you, and it truly has been a team effort. So it's, I think one of the big takeaways we've had, at least the last 2 summers in going up to visit with S&P, is one, they're hearing directly from us. They're not hearing from somebody that, we paid to go up and tell our story. They're hearing directly from us, but, they also are seeing improvements, not just on paper with the numbers, but the way, Scott's running the utility, a lot of the policies that we've put in from a financial standpoint. They even got to see a lot of the marketing outreach that Jimmy's been doing in terms of trying to, just get the message out, whether it be about budgets and everything else. And I think that kind of a meeting is priceless when you can tell your own story, and then when they can ask questions and we have answers for all the questions they're asking. So it's truly been a team effort.
It makes it, I think, as a board, much more pleasant to sit here and be able to affirm what you're doing and pass the right motions and move things forward. And we're not just kind of robbing from Peter to pay Paul and moving the shells around all the time like sometimes happened in the past.
That's right.
If I may add, maybe we could invite Jason's family, because the way that I understand it, he had a primary role in a
He sure
lot of this
did.
work.
He sure did.
Honor him and his family as well.
Thank you.
It's greatly appreciated.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Second item under new business, approval of SRF number 52 to Wessler Engineering for $44,905.
Which I'm going to promptly pull.
Move approval of that.
I just looked it over and realized that I left off the amount on page 2 of the invoice, so I got to redo it.
Oh. So
What page was
I'll have that to you next meeting.
we'll see you next time. Okay.
It'll be in
That is
unfinished business there.
drawn. Account adjustments.
There are a few.
I believe we have one. Is that-
Just one. Good evening.
Evening.
4524 Peyton Avenue. Customer is requesting an adjustment in the sewer portion of the bill in the amount of $2,104.42 due to a slab leak. The leak, the little explanation on this one, the leak was during a time period that it altered this customer's average consumption, so that what they get billed during the summer sprinkling rate was altered. So we went back and evaluated and got proof of how many people live there and did a true evaluation of their average, and got their adjustment at calculated at $2104.42, and we do recommend approval.
Wow, what was the water end of that?
I don't know if I have that bill. I think, let's see if I can actually bear with me. Actually, I do. A little over $900 for one bill, and a little over $300 for another one, and a little over $100 and some for the third
Okay,
one.
because that was prorated due to the summer.
Well, that's just the, you asked me for the water, that's not the
That
sewer.
was over
yeah.
3 months.
Yes, yeah.
Entertain a motion of the approval.
Moved.
Moved.
Is there a
Second.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions or discussion?
I had just a question, just for my own information.
Sure.
You say you did a true evaluation, meaning that because the amount was as much as it is.
Right.
Made you do something that you wouldn't ordinarily,
Right, we asked the customer to get confirmation of how many people actually live there.
Okay.
And we got confirmation of how many children live there, so that we could do a true evaluation of what their true average should be,
okay.
because it altered it so much.
Anything further? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Nay. It is approved.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Scott,
Yeah, I hate to overly complicate things, but actually, if we could approve the amount, and then I could catch the paperwork up with Mr. Hall, but do you have your DRF packets? The number I should have put on the DRF was $64,923. So if we can approve that amount.
54 rather than 44,905?
Right, $64,923.50 to be exact.
64,900.
923.50. Then I'll get the DRF corrected, and I'll just, Steve, I'll run it out to your house and have you sign it.
I move we approve that revised amount.
Second.
been moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those nay. That is approved. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Remonstration of ratepayer dispute regarding disconnect notice. I don't believe we have anything there. Citizen comments? Nothing there.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
It's a class.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got it.